overall, I've got to tell you that the Canadian dollar has been a monster. And as someone who has 2 kids in Canada, it's been painful because the exchange rates have really been going against us. The Canadian economy, for those of you who are sort of following it, has done relatively well. It's certainly getting boosted by the fact that oil prices have really stabilized and gone well, and especially other resources. I'm sure you've all heard about the craziness of lumber prices. Well, Canada is a massive lumber producer as well. It's a big resource hog. But in addition to that, the Canadian central bank, the Bank of Canada, has been far more hawkish than most of the other G10 central banks. They've essentially said that they're going to stop easing, period. While all the other central banks are still considering a much more of an easing posture, and may eventually move to a more tapering posture and even possibly a rate tightening conditions. So for all those reasons, the Canadian dollar has been a monster buy. Dollar CAD has been a monster sell because we trade inverse, of course, in FX. And as we are setting up for the retail sales, I'm going to ask both traders what they would like, what they're looking for, and whether they want to do a YOLO trade and put a position in front of the event, or whether they would like to wait until we get the data and take a look at the price action and do a reactive trade. So I'll start with Dave. YOLO or reactive, my friend?
I'll go reactive, and I'll probably focus on CAD yen. I like the way that one trades a little bit better.
Okay. And what about Nick? What do you think you want to do here?
I'm just going to YOLO short on CAD CHF.
You're going to go short Canadian Swissy in front right now. You're going to go.
Yeah. So this isn't really my style of trading, so
yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
So I'm just going to YOLO.
So if you don't mind, maybe you could show us your screen and tell us what you're seeing on CAD Swissy that makes you want to be bearish. We have about 2 minutes before the event actually comes out, so we can just sort of have a good idea of what the price is.
Honestly, I'm more looking at the news than my screen. Okay. But I noticed it's struggling here with 7.461. So I wanted to get in as close to here as possible. I wanted to get in a little while ago around here, but I'm quite lucky that it started rising again because I pretty much want to jump in short right now if someone can do that for me.
Understood. So
because it's pretty good buy.
Just so that we can make it clear to all of our viewers, we're looking now actually at the daily chart. Is that right?
No, this is the 1 minute chart. I've dropped.
That's the 1 minute chart. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like for some reason I thought it said daily. Okay, sorry. No, so we're looking at the 1 minute chart, and you're basically seeing lots of range congestion at this 71.40. Okay, understood. So you're selling into resistance on the assumption that that we're going to get possibly a sell off here. Any kind of a
looks like I might be quite wrong about this, but has it been entered yet?
No, we haven't. And news is coming out very, very shortly. I'll let you know.
I still want to go short. I just wanted to be.
Okay, now
I'm getting a better price.
Right. Let me see what the news. Canadian retail sales. 3.6, big good number. So it's positive Canadian dollar.
I'm still short.
You're still short. Good for you. What about you, Dave? What are you thinking now? Now that Canadian data came out significantly better than expected. Canadian dollar is mildly lower. What are you thinking of doing? I'm sorry, dollar CAD is mildly lower.
Yeah, CAD. I'm probably still thinking I'll be long CAD yen. I mean, bottom line is it's trending higher. It's sitting on all sorts of support. There's no reason to kind of go against a good print. There might be a little squiggle to the downside as, buy the rumor, sell the news. I would still look to be long CAD yen here. I will give you an update very shortly. But I would think, just in the spirit of doing this, I would say let's go long CAD yen at current levels.
Well, 50 pip stop, 20 pip stop. What are you thinking of as a stop position on that?
This is a trade we want to have closed out by the end of the session, ideally.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give it down to 90, 30 pip stop.
30 pip stop. Okay. Yeah. Can we take a Dave? Sorry?
What was my entry?
Your entry was
you guys come in at?
I'll ask my producer. Will tell you. Will tell me just 1 second. I think it was 70, but we'll find out. Can we have a Nick entries to CAD Swiss and where he stands right now? And while he's looking that up, Dave, could we look at your chart and just take a look at your CAD again?
Well, let me. It says I'm sharing it right now. Do I need the producer to kind of put my screen up? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
For me, I'm just going to go to the daily chart just to give the whole basic framework. I mean, again, you can kind of ignore this wave count. I'm not using it at this point in time. I mean, the trend is clearly up. I mean, you could make some arguments that it's getting a little tired up here, but for me, price action and where a lot of prices have traded and held is far more important than trying to outguess or perceive where prices might reverse. I think that's a tough gig. So just purely looking at the momentum, meaning in terms of the direction's clearly higher. I don't want to get in the way of this and going to drop down to an hourly. It looks as though we've kind of corrected down in 3 waves early this week. We'll probably start moving back higher. Again, I'm not basing it on anything overly technical. I have some longer term levels like on the yearly, quarterly, and monthly basis that we're all sitting on, meaning they're key support. And it takes a lot usually for those levels to be broken. It's so tempting to say, oh, wow, we're sitting on this support level, and if it breaks, it's gonna crater. More often than not, they don't crater. They kind of wick below a little bit, and then so until those levels give way, I'm going to err to the bullish side.
Understood. So long term, the chart looks bullish. We had a short, sort of intermediate term, 1 hour corrective 3-wave move in CAD yen. The data actually is very strong today. So that's positive Canadian dollar. Now, what's interesting is that so Dave is long CAD yen here, and Nick is short CAD Swiss at 74. Let me just tell you the price. Your print was 74.59 on the CAD Swiss.
I wanted to get in higher than that. I know I originally said get me in there, but then when I saw it go higher, if I was in control, I probably would have just dumped more in. Honestly, I wouldn't have because I don't trade this style. But if I was just YOLOing like I just did, I'd probably dump more in to average my price up.
Okay, so we'll add more position for you if you want. We'll definitely do
if it goes back up. Not now though, because now it's pretty much where I entered. So
yeah, I mean it's up to you. So we'll watch it.
Leave it.
So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just leave it. I don't want any more in. I'm good with